Hey everyone, welcome to 1000 Hertz. I'm your host Johnny Matter from Matterhorn Records, and today we have a special guest I'd like to introduce.
Hey everyone, that's Mayo from Invisible Orange, Abelardo Mayoral. I'm a promoter here in Vancouver, BC. And thank you, Johnny, for the invitation. This is
I'm
very
stoked
nice to
you
be
came
here
by,
and,
man.
and the cave and listen to some music.
Cheers, we're drinking
cheers.
a couple of Grosh and
Beers, music, and friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
Known Mayo for many years. Awesome guy in the music scene here in Vancouver. Been promoting for over 15 years in the city, and back when I promoted, we sometimes promote events together, and helped each other out when we could, and yeah, man, just an awesome guy, and I'm stoked to have him come on the show today. So what are we listening to today? He brought all the records. It's all about his collection here. So what we got? He put on. What are we listening to today, Mo?
Music-wise, right now we're listening to FM Attack, is local artist, right? So then really nice music to be chilling. It's synthwave artist here from Vancouver. You can see the album cover. Some of you might recognize. It's
quite beautiful. Look at that
skyline
painting
from the Falls Creek. So I really like it. The album, the music, and then the homage to Vancouver.
Yeah.
It's called The Never Ending, and
That's cool.
it's very interesting. I was hanging out with the artist FM Attack, and then this is a picture that he took from his apartment.
Oh wow!
And then he got made into like the animation retro style.
Took out the Tell Us World sign.
So shout out to
That's
Sean.
awesome.
And
Cool. That's awesome.
a lot of local talent here in Vancouver, I must say. So then I brought some local jams.
You brought a whack of records today.
I will say like something related to this local. Since we're in synthwave, we can. Well, everybody knows this is a really good album that it's very well known. So then this is not like an underground piece or anything.
Yeah.
At least for Vancouverites that are into good music. Actors, a post-punk band that is like doing really well. They're really well.
Pretty active,
right now, and all across North America, and
On the Artifact label.
Artifact, yeah. So a lot of good stuff coming out there, and they're doing well in Europe as well, and they recently played a show in Mexico too.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I have. Speaking of local boys, then Spell as well. Then Tragic Magic. I thought it was related. Although it's like a classic heavy metal band, the interesting thing is that you will think of classic heavy metal to be coming in with an orthodox mix of music and all that, but then these guys do mix well in the somehow in the goth and dark and post-punk scene. They recently had a keyboard player from post-punk band Boyfriends and Girlfriends performing live with them.
They're a great
so it's a
band.
live member.
That cover is amazing.
Yeah.
Look at that painting.
It's very interesting. It's a painting that it's in common.
Look at that
common
art.
rights,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That it's so then it's an ancient painting, right? So then
Right.
the rights are common. How do you
Right,
say that?
it's not copyrighted.
So then it's not copyrighted anymore. So then the same month, within a week of each other, Spell and another band called Fairton, but it's a black metal band in Europe, in France, I believe, and or Germany, and then they release an album with the same.
No
cover,
way.
like within the same week.
What are the
But like,
odds?
the nice thing is like they laughed about it and got in touch and they became good friends.
Oh, that's cool.
That's-
Nobody was
that's
button.
great
buttered.
stories.
Yeah, that's
so,
cool.
yeah,
Nice.
a lot of local stuff in there. I guess we can look at it later, but I had it here right in front of the pile. This is from original first press From Enslavement to Obliteration. I did not get this like back in the day. Like back in the day, what I bought was a tape, but it was the first extreme metal album that I bought. It was that From Enslavement to Obliteration.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So that's a good one. That's a good first one.
So then, extreme metal, not metal in general. I mean, like I was into
grind.
I was into hard rock, and then maybe like Bon Jovi and Def Leppard, and then it went up to Metallica and all that. But the first death grind metal, extreme metal album I bought was Maple Dead From Enslavement to Obliteration, as well as Terrorizer World Downfall.
Yeah.
Then
wow, that's an OG press, eh? Earache.
Yeah. Then I have here more of Napalm Death. This is probably Harmony Corruption is where I start developing a love for death metal, and I'm gonna go through the death metal first. Like it's
You know, Invisible Orange books a lot of death metal, but they also branch out and book all kinds of different bands. Like you know.
Like the synthwave shows we've had, like FM Attack, we did. That was our first show back from the pandemic. It was still seated at the Fox. It was FM Attack actually, right? So I was DJing and people couldn't dance. It was and then like listening.
Did all the metalheads turn out?
There's a few metalheads that like synthwave and goths and people that are electro heads, not necessarily like EDM, but like synthwave, electronic synthwave music. That is the chill retro electronic that we're listening right now. So then like all those different types of audiences come to this show. It's a really good combination.
It's awesome.
And we were all there, but it was like one of the first shows post pandemic we were sitting and all that. But it was nice. So then heavy metal and punk and even some pop we've done, and back to
Napalm Death. Did you ever book them?
Napalm Death, a couple times. The first time was in 2012.
Wow! So that must have been like must have been a mind-blowing experience. You booking
one of my
favorite bands.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
13-year-old Mayo will be freaking out. You're gonna be in the same room that Napalm Death because you are. Organizing their event.
That is awesome. I hear they're the nicest guys too.
Yeah, super nice. I was talking to a couple of them. Shane, who is like an eminence and then super smart. Oh, I didn't get his electronic music album, but he's quite a serious guy but like super nice vibes. And Danny, the drummer, he's just like it was like talking to my uncle or something. It was like it was just like this warmth he had about like asking you questions of like how do you like what do you do and and then is it going good how's it going for you, so it was very nice experience.
Sweet.
That was the first time. It was 2012, and then they came back with Municipal Wait, I think 2014 or 15.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so twice.
I was at that show.
Fortunately, speaking of Napalm, let me show you my. I don't know. One of the biggest rarities I had is I brought it here. So this is a compilation from Earache. It's called Grind Crusher. Okay, came in 1989, and then he has it's a sampler from like the first bands that Earache was releasing, which was the first label, and that started off like a basement. And their sampler here on vinyl had Morbid Angel, Repulsion, Carcass, Godflesh, Napalm Death, Terrorizer, Ball Thrower, Intense Degree, and Filthy Christians.
Wow.
The thing is, the curious thing about this one has killed the price tag of £3. Is that it came with a companion 7-inch, and then I found it with the 7-inch.
Oh, you bought it used.
So
nice.
So I got with the companion 7-inch that has Electro Hippies Mega Armageddon Death Part 3 is a 1-second song, and an even shorter song, which is Napalm Death You Suffer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
And-
that's so cool.
And yeah, which holds, because of this, holds the record of the shortest song ever recorded, right? Like
Yeah.
put on record. Yeah, so
That is so cool, man.
So,
I've never
yeah.
even seen that comp.
yeah, no, it's
Wow.
it's
This
a
is
really
why I
good
love
comp.
having guests,
The
you
main-
know.
the
They bring
main,
things out of the
main
woodwork.
one.
I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. I wish I had a copy of that. Is this
Yeah.
super rare? That one?
It's
Hard to
it's
find?
not super rare. It is rarish,
Yeah.
I will say. And to find it both with the accompanying 7-inch, with
Yeah.
like both. They sold together, so like it's not like they're not separate releases. They were never
Yeah,
really
but
separate
they get
releases.
split up through
The
time.
release is like a set.
Mhm.
The release is a set of
89, right?
wow. Yeah, the 12
That's so
and 7
cool.
inch. Yeah. Speaking of that and old stuff, then I'm bringing like what is probably like the most valued record in my collection.
Oh.
Is this one, bro? Like it's the most expensive ones, right? So it's like an ever flowing stream from Dismember. Usually like this one's it's not mint, but but still is worth like
Super
a few
rare.
$100,
Wow.
and it's rare, and like this mint goes like for I don't know like closer to 1,000. Like not this one, but
Wow.
yeah. So
You feel
but
the
it
blast.
is still
Wow.
a few. So then
That's so cool.
yeah. So this is Dismember like an ever flowing stream. One of my favorite bands. One of my favorite albums ever. Actually, that reminds me of something because of this I have what I call the trifecta. I have something in my bag right here. It was this, which is for that Dismember. I do have the CD and the tape. So then, like, okay, I didn't bring those ones. I brought it for
you
this
got
one, like the one I
everyone?
showed.
Nice.
That was the first album that I bought was like on tape, like so this tape.
Wow, you still got it. Wow.
And
That's so cool.
and then I got the trifecta, right? Like all the formats.
Yeah,
So
That's
like
awesome.
just special albums
Yeah,
for that, right? And then I listened to all of them. I put them in.
Yeah.
I put the tape deck in the deck.
Why not?
I put the CD in the CD player, and I put the.
I'm the
record
same
player.
way.
I don't like it when they're there and like, oh my god, like I haven't listened to that one. Like it has to get
It has to get
listened
played.
to.
Yeah,
It has
yeah.
to get played. Yeah. So no,
And if one gets lost or whatever, you know, you got a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way with some of my favorite albums. I'm like an artist. I gotta own everything. I'm down to cassettes and vinyl, not CDs, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, some more old school death
Morbid
metal.
Angel.
Well, Morbid Angel, as you can.
Yeah.
Well, so like the quad, if I had like also a shirt.
So funny story about Morbid Angel. When I was a teenager, I was in Walmart. This is when Walmart was small, and I was looking at the T-shirts because I used to have band shirts.
Yeah.
There was a Morbid Angel shirt in Walmart.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "What is that?" I was like,
What year was that?
"That was like." Well, I'm 30. I'm turning 45 this month, so this was quite a few years ago. It's like, but Morbid Angel, and like, you know, Walmart's kind of a Christian company, so
Yeah,
I stole it. I stole it. It had the giant pentagram, Morbid Angel, and it had the little logo here, and I was like, I had to
That's
steal it.
awesome.
I didn't have money for it, right? I was a teenager.
Yeah, and like you could just leave it there. Like nobody's gonna buy it. It's gonna go through the
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
has to go to a good home. Yeah. No, I like when that happens. Like like when like have a shirt that doesn't fit anymore. Like has to go to a good home.
Yeah,
right?
give
And
it
then,
to
like, when you
somebody
find
who
someone
wants
that,
it, yeah.
like, oh my god, yeah, I love it. Anyway, so yeah, old school death metal. Oh yeah, more Morbid Angel. This was also one of the first albums I owned in death metal. not as early as From Enslavement to Obliteration from Napalm Death, maybe more with the Harmony Corruption album and all that, like maybe within the year later and all that when it was exploding. If I go back a little bit before extreme metal, then it was thrash metal, right? So then I think this album, Rain in Blood, was the one that made me, like, it's probably the gateway into extreme metal.
Blew the gates open.
It was. I was already like going from, as we mentioned, from rock and hard rock and then like heavy metal that I saw at MTV, and that's pretty cool. And then start like trading with other friends music and
Tape
listening.
trading,
Like they tell you like this band or this band, and then try to look for it, and then like Metallica, for example, right? Then starts pumping up the teenagers into like, oh my god, this sounds fast, dangerous, like powerful.
Yeah.
Other thing. So then like from Metallica, then go into Slayer, and then get into the
similar story with me. Like my dad had the first 3 Metallicas on vinyl, and that's what blew my hair back when I was a kid. I was like, whoa. But after that, it was like, oh, what else? What else is out there? Oh, what's this? You know, he's just digging, right?
Yeah, I'll speak more about trying to go into the extremes, for example. Then will get us into like even back in the day into like listening to things that like that may sound unorthodox, but like that's the reason why like metal has like heavy stuff like Godflesh, for example. So it's like, that is not fast, but that is like extremely heavy, right?
Did you see them when they came here last?
I saw them at venue. They came. They come.
It was at venue.
That as well. They came twice at venue.
Yeah. It was
But,
so good, so loud, like 2-piece drum machine, simple visuals. Like they just had the album cover or whatever. And you could feel the bass in your chest. It was just so intense.
Yeah, no, so good. I just read a full interview they did with the Godflesh in Decibel magazine. It came out last year. I can't remember the exact month, but it's them in the cover. It's a really good interview.
Ooh, check it out.
But he explains some of the things about like that simplicity that you see in the stage and heaviness and all that. He speaks how he Jason Broderick from Godflesh got his his autism diagnosed like very recently, just as an adult. But he was like, that explains so many things, and that's like how I was making music, or like how this image and visuals help him and then attracted him and then made him happen, right? So
and funny backstory, Justin Broadwick from creator of Godflesh, he started in Napalm Death.
That's right.
So it's all intertwined. I'm gonna flip that record. Yeah, he was the first member. I think he was one of the first first lineup.
He was in the second lineup. Because the side A of Scum, I didn't bring that one here, but then side A of Scum has Nick Bullen, Radcliffe, and oh my God, it's Justin Broderick. Oh my God, and then side, Justin was in the initial lineup. So, oh shit, I'm gonna get.
Let's. I think we should have a sip of this. This Sombre Mezcal. Have a little sip of this. Some tequila on the rocks. Why not, right? It's almost weekend. Oh, that cork is like never ending. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the never ending. We're listening to.
Oh, that's a heavy one. Shit. Okay. All right.
So.
Yeah, we're downstairs at the Tiki Bar, beside it. It's a little too. We got too much records and stuff. It's a little too much for two people back there, so we're off to this little side spot. But sweet, yeah. No, this is great.
Yeah. Well, lots of metal. Yeah, we're talking about Slayer as a gateway, Metallica and Slayer and the gateway. My favorite Slayer. It's been between Rain and Blood and Hell Awaits.
Ah, nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Always this one, and there was the Swedish scene.
Yeah.
Right. I showed this member, of course. Then Entomb, the Left Hand Path.
Great.
Then
record.
yeah, class. Like, I can't believe like those were teenagers when they recorded that album. Right.
They were
They were
so
16,
young.
17.
So
the
young.
The oldest ones were 18 years old, maybe. Some of them were as young as 16, and then in some of the other bands they were as young as 14, etc. Right? So, like, for example, this album of Amorphous, then
I remember those
let me see
guys.
if,
Early Relapse.
Early Relapse. No, it doesn't have
That was
that
the golden
here,
age.
but
So many good bands came
but
from
this
that time.
Amorphous album, the Karelian Isthmus, kind of a slower pace, doom death could be called, and then that marked another era for me, right? Like into saying like, okay, we were going to the screams of the fastest, and now let's go like
Sludgy.
this is crushing,
Yeah, it's slower.
heavy, or like even like
Toned down.
yeah, or even like in the emotions that they brought, right?
Yeah.
Like then this was another band that brought that definitely brought that in
These
as
guys-
well. It was The Gathering from the Netherlands. First album. It's always
Wow, that's old, eh?
this one's an old one as well. So and yeah, they also opened up my mind. Like, although we were always trying to like find and listen to different things, it was not like that's not metal, I'm not gonna listen to it. Like we also like listening to weird thing, right?
Yeah.
That was also extreme, right? So then, but that album is straight up death doom, slow, even slower than Amorphous, and I was like, no, I'm into it. And then I follow what the band kept doing, which was completely like going away from metal to the latest albums are post rock, not post metal, post rock and trip hop, things like that, like very like dreamy and experimental, and then up to today, then I still like have like the all the whole discography, even when they went through like such different direction.
Well, I always admire a band that can really, evolve with time and every album, Because, like, who wants to hear the same album over and over again? Come on, there's got to be something a little different, right?
Yeah. I'll say, well, speaking of that, then this is a similar band to that of the feelings I had with The Gathering, Tiamat, which started like as a old school death metal band as well, like the Swedish ones, like it was like I got this member Entomb band, and went into a goth direction, right? Like the albums after this was the one that cut into a different direction. They went from old school death metal to like a doom death, to then this one is their Pink Floyd album.
Wow.
Again, I read this full interview they had in Decibel magazine when they did like the Hall of Fame for Wild Honey. The album is Wild Honey from Tiamat, and is just Johan, like the leader of the band, speaking of like how many mushrooms he was doing when they were doing all this, like every day. He was just like,
And writing.
Yeah, no, I had like, oh yeah, it's like,
Wow.
It's like I walked with like my pockets full of mushrooms, and it was like the entire day for weeks and weeks, until like I realized like I couldn't keep doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also a very
Wow.
interesting interview.
Now I want to hear that.
Because then in the end, they recorded like a complex album with like a really good production. I think it's due to Jelmer. What's the name of the, like something like Jelmer? From the producer musician that he helped. Like, I guess I can imagine him herding the cats, right? Like, it's not mentioned.
Yeah.
Like when you see that, it's like, okay, there was this guy that like helped channel all that artistic creativity into like ending up with like a good album. Yeah. I think he worked also with The Gathering actually, and all that. So yeah, another
The same engineer, eh? Wow.
Yeah, another weird one for fans of Morbid Angel, like Nocturnus, The Key. Like another one of my absolute favorite albums of all time. For being is classic death metal and it's weird at the same time. So then yeah, I have a trifecta for that too, like the tape and the
you got all of them. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. We're still in metal section, but like yeah, then from that's all old school. I guess we can get to a more modern stuff, like more recent stuff. Although this album's from '99, it's a newer band because this was their first album.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Yeah. So this is Agelardo. They're one of my favorite bands. And then yeah, this first album sounded something between black metal and death doom. So I listened to them in '99. We still didn't have like we had the internet, but not like the way we have it now. So the way I found this band was through the internet, but like through before Napster, like Google download MP3s by knowing about like FTP servers where people had their collection and they made it MP3s, and then you had your computer at home, sitting at home. Then you install something that made it a server, and then other people could find it and then download from your. God. So then like people will post like when they made their computer, the home computer as a server, right. and then I was FTPing. Search for a certain album, I can remember which one. So I found it in a guy's computer, downloaded, and I see in his directory, in his files, that he had a lot of stuff that I like. So I was like, oh, I like this guy's stuff.
Yeah.
And then I will explore because I haven't heard that band. So like, if I like what he has here, I'm gonna check this out. So I downloaded it without knowing anything about the band. Sorry about them, but like, yeah, I bought the albums. But like,
wow.
But that's the way you discovered them, right? Because like
I
have never heard of them from friends or from magazines or anything. It was there in a folder in an FTP server in someone's house.
And kids will not get this nowadays, because nowadays you can just Google, you can go on Spotify, you can find a lot of stuff. But like, this is like what he's talking about is like almost like going to the record store, but like online and digging for music. That's amazing.
And then we have that too. Like some of the ones we say was this cover looks cool, or I saw this band mentioned in a magazine and I have not heard it, but like I read something about them, and then you will get it and buy it. So then the same thing, instead of like saying like I read something in a magazine, it was for me. I saw it with other, like in someone's list with some other things that I like, so I would probably like it. I downloaded it, not knowing anything about the band. Then I totally thought they were European for years because of the sound. Like it's like.
Where are they from?
They're from Portland.
Oh wow!
When I find out that this guy's
okay, that's right. That's probably right.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
very nice guys. They broke up for 8 years and they just got back together last year.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna bring the album out, like while we speak about them, and then I got to see them back this last September at the Prophecy Records Festival, Germany. It's in a cave.
Oh,
it's very
wow.
Yeah. Check out, like, search for pictures of Prophecy Fest.
That sounds cool.
Germany, and it's inside a cave. Like, absolutely, like, so you go inside a cave, and the stage is inside a cave.
And there's bats and shit.
Everything. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that is so cool.
It's as cool as it sounds.
A cave.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to, like, host a show in a castle.
That must have happened, no? Like, or
Yeah.
should, like,
You know?
If not, then yeah, we should do it.
We should. Well, there's no castles here in Vancouver. We have to go. We have to go to Europe or something. But
This is a little mini golf castle. Or
yeah,
something.
great. You know.
But yeah. Yeah. Speaking of, like, I don't have. I don't know if you have any Mayors of Thrace shout out. Like, yeah, remember, like, when you mentioned one of the that we used to sometimes even work together on shows. That was a very memorable one. Right? Like, working for a band that we both really liked.
Mayors of Thrace back in the day. Yeah. And they're still going.
They're still going strong.
Yeah. It's trying to change the lineup, I think, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think they're playing. There's a festival in Toronto coming up.
Right.
What's that called?
I do. It has a long name. There's
some ground.
Yes, ground. Like, stand your ground. Like,
people are gonna hate
ground
it.
is in the name.
If you know the festival name, comment.
Yeah. Tribunal is playing in that festival.
Oh,
Tribunal
yeah.
from Vancouver.
Wow.
Doom band. I didn't want to say Doom death band, but or Doom metal band. Like, you could say Doom metal band.
Yeah.
They do a very interesting and well done combination of My Dying Bride's Death Doom with Candlemass epic classic Doom, and they combine the different scenes of Doom very well.
I think
Not a slut sheet, but then, like, the death and the epic classic parts very well mixed. Sometimes people try to mix things and it doesn't work very well. Like, for them, like, it's really well.
It's a nice
well
cover.
done.
$20 spin.
It's on 20 back spin, right? Yeah, and it's a band here from Vancouver.
Yeah, I think I played with them back in the day. Or they played Decemberfest or something.
Oh no, that will have been Tribune.
Oh yeah. Different band.
Death thrash band. Yeah.
Band,
It's a newer band. Yeah, this is their first album.
Oh, okay. I'm confusing the two.
And it's interesting that I remember that I had this here with me. We were talking about Mayors of Thrace because in the festival, because they're also going to be in Toronto for that festival. And they're going to do a tour together after that, Tribunal and Mayors of Thrace.
Oh, no way.
And then, the thing was that they did play here in BC. They did help organize their Kelowna, Vancouver, Victoria 3-day thing, right?
Oh, okay.
And it was super successful. So, they
awesome.
did really well. Like, they killed it in that.
They haven't been out here for a while.
All of them, the show here at the Waldorf was really good. I wasn't at the show in the island, but in Victoria. But everybody was saying, like, it was really good. Yeah.
Nice.
Where can we go from here? I mean, like, we're talking about the local.
Hey,
guys.
do you like Venom?
Yeah, I like Venom. Yeah.
I got a gift for you. Hold on.
What?
I recently bought all these cassettes from this gentleman.
Okay. Venom tape, then I don't have
and I
Oh,
was
not probably. I definitely don't
so
have
this
any
is,
Venom tapes.
there's a catch to this, all right?
Okay.
Now these are super rare.
What is
These are super rare. Like
Is it haunted or what's the catch?
They don't have the covers.
Okay.
I don't even know how they play, but these are off original Bonsai. Now with the covers, these go for a lot of fucking money. It is Venom Black Metal and Venom Welcome to Hell.
Like the classic.
And the other
Yeah.
side's ripped off because
Okay.
it has the paper, right?
Okay. I'll tell you what. Think. So are they mine?
Those are yours.
Okay. I'll tell you
That's
what. They're
your-
going to a good home because this is what I like to do. Like when I see this, it's like I will go to the internet, find the original J card, and I'll print it.
Yeah.
Nice paper, and I will make it, and I will give them back their J card. I will make at home and put it. I will print the sticker that
No
goes
way.
here.
You do that?
I will do that.
You go that far?
So like this is
Oh,
one
wow,
side, this is
man.
the other side. Yeah.
That's
No,
insane.
I'll put it back.
There you go. Well, there you are. Hopefully they work okay. I haven't listened to them yet, but they came with. I bought a bunch of cassettes off of Gentleman, and you know, I want them to go to a good home. So
Yeah. The Banzai, it's Canadian releases, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was not that familiar with the Banzai because I grew up in Mexico now. That's where I was listening to like
Very
the
collectible.
earliest stuff that I was mentioning. We'll get to newer stuff later.
Because I think Metallica
And,
even came out on the Bonsai.
And then and then I saw there's like a whole like collectors thing around like the Banzai
there is.
releases that are Canadian and or it's like
Highly collectible.
collective, like it was like special releases, right? That is like okay, the special edition, right?
Yeah, if you look up those cassettes on Discogs, you'll be like, whoa.
Like,
Yeah.
like, without Jacob,
Yeah.
okay, I'll make one and I'll
Yeah.
keep them.
But no, that's cool though. My dad actually had a Venom record, Welcome to Hell, when I was a kid. I remember looking at it going, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, we need another
we
record.
go from
What should we do? What about that Godflesh?
like yeah. So we mentioned the Godflesh, the Street Cleaner. Of course, then listening to it from the early times. This is all but not all. This is an original 1989 press,
What?
but that I bought here in Vancouver.
No way.
Yeah. They had a Red Cat one day, and I go there, and I was like,
Jealous.
and they had it like on display, like there, right? Like everybody could have seen it, and so
Was
I
it
think I was
cheap?
lucky that was just like there. Like I think it was fair. It was it was not
Reasonable.
like, oh my god, I got it for
But
so cheap,
still.
or like, oh, it was so expensive, I spent so much. It was like
$100
fair
or
for what it
something,
is. And I was like, what? I grabbed it, original 1989 UK
Wow,
press.
I would have did the same.
Like, yeah, so I thought I was so lucky because like if you had walked by that day,
I would have got it right before
you could have seen it from outside
Oh,
at the store. Like it wasn't like right there on display.
Classic.
And then I was like, oh, I was lucky I saw it.
Should we put it on?
Yeah, let's
do it.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's in good shape, eh?
Yeah.
Score. Wow.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Like, is this
Oh,
really from 1989? Like the guy that had it in 1989 never played it. Probably.
It's really nice.
It's
so clean.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
it's like
Godflesh is
mint.
one of those
near mint.
like I know I've told the viewers before, but Godflesh is one of those bands that I've listened to ever since I was a teenager and never stopped listening to. I still listen to them to this day and the new stuff. All right.
I read something opening song of on Street Cleaner. So we have like Rats, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the new album from Health. Don't have it here. New album from Health, Rat Wars. It's cool, and they have mix with this song. They mix like rats from Godflesh in one of their songs in the new Health album.
Oh, and Health. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
You went to that show, eh?
I went to that show.
I was gonna go.
Unbelievable. Yeah, no, such a great band, and their new album is amazing. It's great. That brings me something. I'm gonna go here now. That's a good segue. Yeah, thanks that we had that. So then Health is a band that does a lot of collaborations with a lot of different artists, industrial, electronic, metal. They have Godflesh, like it's metal or it's electronic, but they even have a song with Lamb of God, etc. Right?
There you go. It's lower in the mix because it's an older record.
Oh yeah,
right.
Which is good. Yeah. Those dynamics.
I love. Are you an OG guy? I'm an OG guy.
Yeah,
I like the OG.
I like the headroom of being able to play with the dynamics of the record, right? So
and it's like a document of time, you know. It's like yeah, you know, it's kind of cool some of these represses, but man, like the original record, that's how it was meant to be at that time.
Yeah. The funny thing is, there's some remasters of like albums that originally came on a time later than that.
Yeah.
On a time when they came out originally loud.
That's right. Yeah.
And their remasters are
lower.
Are for like full dynamic range, right?
Yeah,
so like lower in the so then so then in that case it's like, oh yeah, thank God, they're doing a full dynamic range one because it came in the late 90s or the 80s, and then it's just like loud, right? So, but yeah, no, before that, then early 90s and before then full dynamic range, feel that bass and all that by cranking it up, not because it's just there in your face. So talking about Health and the collaborations they did, and in previous albums they had some with the Soft Moon. I have this album here from the Soft Moon.
Rest in peace. What's his
Luis
again?
Luis Vasquez, and
very talented guy.
Super talented guy. So passed away last month. In his prime, probably, or
he just put out a
or
new album,
or about to reach his prime.
I have all his records.
We won't know now, but he left us with some good records. This is one before the last one was Criminal. This is the Criminal remixes. This is not the Criminal album, and this is the remixes album. It came with a tape that he bring, which is a mixtape that he made of bands that he liked, and then I discovered some good stuff from there that I didn't know.
That's an awesome idea.
Like from the mixtape that came, because Luis said I'm gonna put this tape.
Check out this band,
with the remixes album.
That's cool. And there's a little certificate on the front. What's that?
Yeah, I don't know what it's like. Yeah, this is a certificate for certifying the copy of it.
So it's limited edition then.
Yeah, it's a limited edition. That's why it came with the mixtape from Luis, and then wax seal here, for the.
That's cool.
Kind of like slip case.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not gonna open the seal.
Oh yeah.
And then here's the record.
Oh wow.
Well, the records are inside the wax seal.
They were such a cool band.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. Excellent album, Criminal. The remixes album is really, really good. That's why I was looking at it.
Was it remixed by him?
I didn't know it was gonna come with that mixtape as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
No. Remixes by different
artists.
Different artists.
Oh.
So then this is by, I don't know how to pronounce that, SHXCXC. One of the bands in the mixtape that I discovered there. Low here. Then we have Imperial Black Unit.
I've heard of
Saren, Render, The Horrorists, Ansom, Crow, and here's the list. Easier actually, probably a lot of their friends in the LA scene. I know it was a big loss in the industrial goth post-punk scene.
You know, he canceled. I had tickets
to see him last time he was going to come here, and he canceled for some reason. He was sick. And,
Last time, yeah.
And then the last time they booked to play here, I think it was at the Commodore or something.
Oh, at the Commodore, yeah.
And then
I missed that. Yeah, I saw the one at Venue. That was a show with someone else was headlining the show, and he was supporting. The headliner canceled the tour.
Oh, wow.
Like, okay, we're not gonna have that. And then the booker, the manager at Venue, now the Pearl, calls me and says, like, you know what, but like this guy is really good. Let's try to bring him in. Like, oh yeah, I'm in. Let's try to bring him in. Like, hey, will you be into doing the show even though the headliner's not in? And then he did the show. Still, so it was a smaller show, but it was like super nice. That was
had a couple
Venue.
locals.
And that was, well, I think it was just at Criminal Release or before, and then I saw him at Fortune Sound Club, and that was packed, so it was already on the rise, and that was before their last album still.
wow.
So then like he was on the rise.
He was getting up there.
Yeah, so
Oh, is that a Genghis Strong record?
this is again now they're speaking about like the
I wish I had
getting
that
into
one.
the electronic. Oh, I'm gonna tell you what I have about this. This is Genghis Strong Board Up the House. Okay. Well, Genghis Strong is one of the bands that I have like the full discography. It's not a big discography, right?
No.
So it's not a big discography.
But that's the one.
But yeah, this is the main LP. I have two LPs, one EP and a few singles, or I don't know if they're EPs or singles. And then I managed to get them all. Fortunately, like some of them like I didn't know friend had this one that he gave me. It was like, I found this from Genghis Strong. I bought it at a show. I think you will appreciate it. I'll just give it to you. And then like I go pick it up, and it wasn't a CD, but it's like I didn't know it was like the last missing piece in the discography for me. Like once I had that, I had everything. I didn't know. Like, and then it just
So
like
you're
showed up
complete
for
as,
Scott.
just like me. I'm like, if I love that band, I'm getting everything.
No, I will do that, like for some bands and all that, but this one I was not doing that on purpose. Like sometimes I'm just like, I'm gonna have all the albums or the main albums. I don't need to have every rarity and single.
Yeah.
But suddenly, like I did have a few singles that I did buy at shows, and I didn't, and then I didn't know, like with that one, I had absolutely everything. Like for some reason. Including this is Board Up the House, their last album before the reunion. Then they have the newer album now, like with Human drummer Nick from like Vancouver.
Nick plays on it.
And for this album, the one after their hiatus split, Board Up the House, they release that LP is the normal one, and then 4 remix LPs, and I managed to like have that because they were releasing them one by one.
Oh yeah.
And then I managed to get them.
Oh, nice.
Like,
So did
like
you
Pokemons.
see that famous show, infamous show, when they played here at Pat's Pub? Were you at that one? I think it was with Bison, or was it with Bison?
Bison show was at the Lamplighter. The Lamplighter.
Oh, okay, it was
On
Lamplighter.
Cordova.
Yeah. But who did they play with at
And
Pat's Pub?
Can be like or
They
around
played
there.
Pat's Pub though. Were you at that one?
They played at Pat's
Yeah.
Pub. That was the last show before they went on the hiatus. It was on this album. I was at that show too.
Yeah. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
Especially, it's like a Pat's Pub, rest in peace, they're no longer. But Pat's Pub used to have some wicked shows, and it's just like a shitty pub. Like that, old drunks would sit out and just drink all day, and then some crazy bands would play, and these guys played it.
Example, Genghis Strong. Like the first time they came here, they played at the Pick Pub, which is like a tiny pub of 60 people, right?
Yeah.
but we were 40 people in there, right?
Is
And
that
then
the same as Piccadilly?
the Piccadilly,
Yeah.
the Piccadilly, yeah. And then after that, it was the one at the Lamplighter with Bison,
Right.
and that's a little larger venue. I don't know, like 200-300
Still
people,
a
and it
small
was
place,
packed.
yeah.
Yeah, 200-300. So that
It was
so
kind of
huge,
awkward, yeah.
but it was packed. So then from there, instead they go to Pat's Pub, right? So then it was like tight, right? So like, yeah.
There was a good era there in the early 2000s where all these up-and-coming bands were playing these little dive bars and little pubs. And, man, you could go in for less than $20 and see these bands.
I think it was like Bison's second show ever or first show ever or something like that. Yeah, something crazy. Anyway, yeah, so we're still speaking about like crazy stuff. Then, of course, yeah.
Avex Twin. Oh, yeah. How can you go wrong?
Yeah, the master of getting weird.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah,
The guy wrote the book.
Richard D. James. Of course, this is the one where he blew up, right? In MTV,
Come
Live with
Daddy,
Camp
yeah.
Daddy, which shows that's his face in every children there.
The creepy music
Right?
video
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
probably
his
seen.
creepy face on all of them, and then there's creepy music videos also, like Widow Liquor,
Yeah, Window Liquor, yeah.
where it's a female, well-formed buddy, but like with his face again, like his face in everything, right? Like his creepy face.
I was
of
down.
Richard.
I was down when I
James.
seen that shit because I was kind of an industrial kid, and when I seen that, I was like, "Oh, awesome! Okay, cool." Like,
It's-
finally, somebody new electronic doing something dark and creepy and weird.
And,
Yeah.
and that was like the appeal of the extreme, right? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like the heavy stuff. There's like that's heavy. It's
That's
not
heavy,
guitars,
yeah.
but it's heavy. It's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah. yeah.
yeah, no, it's you know, like I heard the story like a fixed twin is because he had a twin brother that died at birth,
Right. Yeah.
and his parents, I don't know why they will do that. That's the craziest thing to do, but they named them both Richard.
Right.
So they like he and his brother were had the same name, but his twin brother was born dead. Like so he grew
Yeah.
up without a twin. He never met him, right?
Wow.
But they had a grave for the dead twin brother.
Mhm.
So there's a grave that says Richard D. James. So that's like a grave with your name with someone that has your
And you're
DNA,
still
like,
alive.
you're
Yo,
like a
that's-
twin of you. And
That's
like,
gotta be
that's-
like psychologically damaging.
Yes, that's how you create someone that makes this type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
music. So, like,
Have you seen the documentary on YouTube?
it's,
There's a
no,
documentary on YouTube. I watched it. It's quite lengthy, and it goes into the whole story of Aphex Twin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I
you
have to
might-
see that.
yeah,
I
you
have to
might
see
check
that.
it,
No,
check
I
it
just
out.
have this. Well, yeah, electronic music. Okay, like so. Speak of electronic music, I have this is more going into hip hop without like this is DJ Shadow introducing. The ones I know like is like oh yeah it's obvious it's a super classic
Yeah.
for turntablists. It's hip hop, but there's no vocals, right? There's no rapper. It's just the
Instrumental,
DJ,
yeah.
instrumental hip hop,
A classic album.
and it's very classic. Like for me, it was like the feelings he gave me when I first listened to this. Like a friend shows me this that we exchanged things. He showed me a lot of electronic music. I showed him a lot of metal that we both liked from like liking weird things.
Yeah.
And then I like this caught me like right away. Like it gave me feelings of doom music, and like sad but powerful.
Yeah.
Like some parts are slow but like yeah dark.
Yeah.
And it's hip hop. yeah,
It's great. Yeah, it's great.
so yeah,
And it's
give me a
awesome.
shout, introduce
It's
him.
awesome to have friends like that are just into different styles of music that can introduce
Yeah,
you to
always
different
have,
stuff. And you know, it goes hand in hand with the record collecting. Like you just find all these cool different. Like man, since I started collecting records heavily, I've got into so many different genres I never thought I'd listen to. You know, like different stuff.
Oh yeah. No, something like about artists. Like yeah, you discover things. Well, even from back in the day, that happened because you will have to buy records based on they have a cool cover, right? Like oh, I have this cover, and then you will buy. Like oh yeah, maybe I'll bring this one up. Speaking of cool covers, I didn't buy it. Because, oh well, actually yeah. I did buy it because of the cool cover. Although I
took a
knew
chance on it.
seriously. But I already knew the album. I already
Yeah.
listened to the album, and then I knew the album. But then I was like, I need to have that because it's the Dali. It's a Dali painting, right? Like that Christ in perspective.
Yeah.
It's from above, right? So you're looking
cool.
at Christ from above. I can't remember the exact name of. It's just Dali's Christ or something, or it's called something about a boat. There's like a boat in the painting, I think, like going down here because because of Dali's surrealism. It's like you're looking at the crucifixion from above, and
Right.
but then like there's a perspective somewhere else
Of a
where
ship.
you see a ship, but from the side. So
Wow.
like two perspectives in the same painting, like from the front and from up. So
That's cool.
So
I never
that's
even
weird,
heard
right?
these
But
guys.
Merciless from France, old school death metal,
Oh wow.
and right, let's see like, the picture of the guys, right? Like usually, like super young guys,
Yeah.
teenagers usually, like back in the day, and then this painting was at my grandparents' house.
No way.
Like just like not the original one.
Yeah.
It's
It
on
was a
museum,
print.
right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a print. But like, I guess my grandfather liked it or something. Like it was there. I will just I was a kid, so I didn't know why I liked it, but I just liked it, and I liked going to my grandparents' house, and then it was like, oh yeah, I'll say hi, and then I'll go to these places that I like in their house, right?
Yeah.
And then one of them was like, oh, I will go and stare at that painting, and then I will go and then watch the painting hanging, like I don't know, like I just
Wow.
like the visual of it, right?
Yeah.
Like I guess that perspective and the
So you had
shadows
cool
it has.
grandparents.
Yeah, that's certain thing. Yeah, at least they like at least yeah, they
You had
definitely
taste.
like their
Yeah.
taste in the
Yeah.
in the paintings they had around the house.
Yeah. I like my grandparents were cool too. Like my grandma and grandpa, they had a bar in the basement, and I just remember the families would all hang out in the bar, and there was a record player. There wasn't, there was like country records and shit that my grandma had, but yeah, there was a record player, and I remember those times.
I remember that from my so this painting will be on my paternal grandparents' house, but in my maternal grandparents' house, and that's the memory I have. Is one of them is having the record player there, and my uncles had certain albums that I remember as a kid, like seeing the cover.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe those are some of the stuff that I will like to find, right? Like and then have those records that I don't have right now. Some of them were Scorpions.
Oh yeah.
Blackout was one of them. Other like couple other Scorpions albums my uncles had. I think there was I think Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and Technical Ecstasy were there. I'm gonna have to ask them.
Wow.
I mean, they're like my uncles are still around, so they had those cool stuff, and then and then things like Air Supply, Kansas, Boston,
all the classics.
all those ones. Then I remember seeing those covers in there in my grandma's house. Like my uncles had it, right? Like my mom's brothers. So yeah, speaking of that remind me something like for some reason, like I don't remember how I came to like I should have like gotten the one that has maybe like David Bowie's.
David
Like
Bowie,
I have quite
yeah.
a few David Bowie albums. This is the last one, right? Like the Black Star.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Another one that left us. Here he is. This is the last album, Black Star.
It's a good record. It's really
Great
good.
record.
I still need to get the copy of that.
I don't remember why I started listening to David Bowie, because I don't remember a friend showing it to me or my uncle showing it to me. But but I knew they liked them.
Mm-hmm.
But I just knew that, right? And then but somehow I got a hold of a tape with compilation, with the Heroes compilation and all that. And then I listened to that a lot, and then I started liking Bowie, and then in the late 90s I started buying some albums that he was releasing at the time, when he was like at the end he was doing like more like kind of like mixing electronics and
He
and
was
then
really,
rock.
those are really cool, those records.
It was really good, yeah. And then I went to the back catalog like more recently, and then so then I now I mentioned this to my uncles that are older now, and then we talk about them, about David Bowie and all that and his legacy, and
For
and
sure.
it's a really cool thing. So then but I still don't know why I started listening to David Bowie. I lost a friend that like had that tape that I ended up with, and then like suddenly it's in my car, and then it's just like going like around and around, right? So.
Yeah, it was probably like Space Odyssey, first thing I ever heard by Bowie, and I really liked it because it was kind of telling the story, and he's floating through space and all that.
I think that's the thing. I think I really loved Space Odyssey.
When I was a kid.
I loved it, and maybe I looked for it, and then I listened to the rest.
Yeah.
But because there's something in Space Oddity that attracts, I guess, like people that like dark music. It's not a super dark song, but it has that feeling, right?
Yeah, it's very like you're alone in a bubble and you're floating through space. Like it's a very, but then like
dark but relaxing.
Later years was like he came out with like Let's Dance, and it was like that record's like awesome, and it's so cheap. Like if you don't have Let's Dance, you're kind of like get that. It's got China Girl. It's got like so many hits on there.
I think that's the thing. It's like
party
that dark song, Space Oddity, like will get someone like us into Bowie and pay attention, and then that's the gateway to get into all the pop stuff, right? Like you dance and you're like, oh my god, this is good.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, you're listening to pop music as well, right? So like later electronic, later rock, but it was pop music, right? Let's say then that. Well, that brings the excuse to bring this one. Like we're talking about pop. Like I'm gonna say like this is totally modern, not old school, and extreme, but like Billie Eilish, total pop music. This is Happier Than Ever, her second album, third album about to come. Like I'm excited about it.
I don't know, I don't know her, but I feel like if I heard her and you're like that's her, I might know her.
The thing is, I think it got me the same way that we're describing Bowie.
Yeah.
You might listen to like some of the pop songs, like here and there or in the radio.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's a pop song, right?
Yeah.
But then like suddenly there is the one song that says, oh, that sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you go and look for that song, then you start listening to others, and then you're like, oh, this has a theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly then I check out the album, and I'll say like, maybe there's some more jewels in there, right? Like, because I know like I didn't pay attention when I listened to this or that song here and there, but I like this song and I like this one. There might be more that I like, so I'm gonna listen to the album because
check it out.
That's one thing. I love listening to full albums. Like it's a little uncomfortable for me to like listen to just
and skip
songs here and there when I'm just listening to music, right? If it's just like
I'm the same
you're
way
in the bar and then the music is playing, but if I'm gonna play music, is oh my god, I left home and at the middle of this album, or like there were 3 songs left. I will come back home and then put the same album and listen to the last 3 songs.
I even play the one I already heard because I might have missed the end. I don't think I heard the whole thing. Put that whole,
so then I'm like, I'm gonna listen to the whole album, and then I'm like, whoa, okay, this is good. It flows. And in the pandemic, she released a live concert called An Ode to LA or something to LA, to Los Angeles. And it's so good. It's
I'll check it out, man.
It's that's, I'm gonna say, let's go with.
I can't believe we're playing original Godflesh right here.
Yeah.
This is very cool.
It's okay. And that video is really good. It's like that whole an Ode to LA, or like something to Los Angeles. Came out during the pandemic. She has like an orchestra playing like the more orchestral songs. I mean, they are 2 kids, 2 brother and sister that just made their music in a bedroom.
I didn't realize that.
And they came from a music family, so they were always making music. Phineas, her brother, like he produced the albums in their house. Their studio's their house, right?
Wow.
Like he mixed them all that, and then
Which you
they
can
blew
now.
up.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
so
they
cool.
blew up, right? Yeah. But it was like all at their house, right? All done at their home there.
That's awesome.
And then,
That's a cool
so it's people that love music, and,
Yeah.
and you can hear it when you pay attention.
It wasn't like this
details.
manufactured pop group that was like,
No,
some
it's-
like fat cats were like, all right, let's make the most popular music.
It's kids that grew up like that's all they know. They grew up listening to music and composing music more than listening music. Like they grew up making music.
That's cool.
And that was it. So then
Whole new respect.
It's really
That's awesome.
all those details in the composition, like especially when you see them, how they have an orchestra that is playing their music they compose. Then it's a whole level of like, oh my god, like there's all these arrangements and levels that you hear then back in the music. They're really good, So that's for pop. David Bowie took us there, and the discovering of different things. Speaking of, let me see. Much stuff here. We have.
Well, Invisible Orange got some shows coming up too, eh?
From shows that we
Always.
have coming up. Yeah, always. I guess because you probably saw this record, this one.
And I gotta
too,
say,
this
thank you
one
for
too.
bringing Great Falls.
Dude,
Dude, that was an amazing show.
Yeah, so
With
probably
Wade.
have the Great Falls album, but have, the Wake album here is the latest one. I've like following this band for a while as a grind or fan, then like grind bands that progress into doing different things, like Napalm Death, one of my favorite bands that are now like playing kind of like noise metal, right?
Yeah,
it's
all kinds of stuff.
quite mixed. Going from grind to death grind to now progressive death metal or something like that, then is like one of the things that like probably follows the line that attracts my brain to like music or to follow music. So then that was an amazing show. Wake, Great Falls, first time in Vancouver. Like one of the best. I'm gonna say one of the best noise bands in the world right now, probably, right?
Oh
Yeah. Them and Oxbow just blew our minds last fall. I just want them to come back as soon as
Did
they
you
can.
end up getting that Wake record that Jesu, Justin Broadway?
Yes.
What? Okay,
Yes.
I got one of those. I haven't played it yet.
I played it, and it's like
Did you play it? Did it
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
well?
It's a lacquer cut.
Yeah, the lacquer cut. Yeah.
It's
So cool.
so good. Yeah, I had listened to it like online when they released it. I was like, Jesus, Justin Broderick
Yeah.
from Godflesh makes a mix of a song from Wake, and they sell it as a single in a lacquer cut. Yes.
Jesu,
Yeah,
another
like,
great
like,
band, like for like electronic solo music. Like that guy's. You have any of his records or any of the
Jesu?
Yeah.
No, I have a couple CDs.
Yeah,
Not much.
so good, so good.
Yeah. Well, speaking of upcoming shows, and that was a show that was just enjoyed last week or
Oh
like 2
yeah,
weeks
15th
ago.
anniversary was great.
15th anniversary of the Invisible Orange.
And you did it on the island too,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah,
show?
the tour of Wake, Great Falls, and Egregore is from Covenant Festival. Went to Victoria from here. For the Vancouver show, it combined with another tour. So then we had also Noroth from the Pacific Northwest and Druid Lord, Death Doom band from
They were
Florida.
great. They were great.
And they were amazing. So then, we had a packed show. The Wake Grateful Segregore tour then continued to Victoria, and Alter Dead, shout out, opened there the show, and then I wasn't there, but it was they kept sending me pictures and videos, and it was like a super nice show. Everybody enjoyed it so much.
Nice.
I was like, FOMO big time. I was like,
Yeah, I was there.
But I had another amazing show that same night. I was that Sunday that when they were playing Victoria, we had Dipigus and Anthropophagus, also two old school death metal bands, new old school death metal bands.
Okay.
From California, from New England, and then they played a great show with three amazing local bands. It was Death Winds, the Blade itself, and the Gorgon and Micaeus. It was quite a death metal weekend. Except plus the noise from Great Falls and the progressiveness from Wake. But that made sense in the death metal.
It worked.
Scene.
It worked for sure.
So then, speaking of the Invisible Orange anniversary, we had the Rasmus Conduct Equinox album. I love this album.
Are they still going?
This is they're totally still going. It's their
Oh, no
25th anniversary
I had no
this
idea.
year of this band, Rasmus Conduct. Melodic death metal. Anyone not from Vancouver?
Really
fans
nice guys.
of mid-late era death, the melodic progressive era, or more. Also earlier, there were more like earlier Dark Tranquility, fast death metal, melodic death metal, and lately with some Gojira progressive elements as well. But this album Equinox is an excellent album. It's their 25th anniversary this year. They are playing some shows. They have some surprises coming up.
Well, go see them because they don't play often. They don't
What are
have
they-
much.
Well, they're playing. They're playing on May 31st.
Oh, wow.
Alongside another local band, Unleash the Archers. And I say local band when they're now like an international band. They're gonna be.
They're huge.
They're touring in like Europe, North America, and all that, and they're gonna be releasing their album this May. They're like a newer album. This is the previous one, or this is the latest one still until next month. Next month there's gonna be a newer one.
Oh, great. Okay.
And so Abyss, it was an excellent album. It is still an excellent album. Album release show for Phantoma, their new album, is on May 25th in Victoria and May 31st in Vancouver, where Rasmus Conduct's gonna play at the Vancouver show.
Oh,
So
Together.
May 31st
sick.
is so we'll have Hyperia, Rasmus Conduct, and Unleash the Archers. I don't know when this is gonna be posted, but it's probably this show is
Soon.
probably gonna be
Tomorrow.
sold out.
Yeah.
But okay, well, I think we as of this morning when we're filming this, it's 50 tickets left. So at the rickshaw. So
Snap them up.
More than 90%.
Try.
So by next week, or by the time you see the video is probably sold out. If it's not, then grab one now.
You see the local bands, getting some recognition across the globe.
Yeah, no, this year, actually the day after the show at the rickshaw, the day after, they play on the Friday, and the Saturday they fly to Australia for a tour.
Oh, great. To our Australian viewers, if we have any.
Yeah.
I think this might be one or two.
No, so then keeping up with what other
we're almost at
the local
bottom
bands
of
we
it,
have, and not exactly local, but yeah, this is a new old school death metal band, Hedonist, from the islands. So local-ish. Local to BC, and they're amazing. They're like for fans of Wolfroar and Old Carcass. Everybody's loving them in the underground. So
Nice.
Hedonist is gonna be making rounds. This is local to me, but it's like because this is the band Stress Cross Punk Cross Grindcore band from Hermosillo, Mexico.
Nice.
That's my home city, and that's the city where I started developing the love for music and extreme music. Sitting with friends, having drinks like I am with you, Johnny, right now, like
Cheers.
this, and
all right.
and then talking records and then saying like this, and it's like, oh yeah, so let me listen to that one, and you could just like go online and download it. So it's like, yeah, here's the records, and like, yeah, and oh here, yeah, you should get this 5 and take them to your house, and because I think you will like this one. Oh yeah, I think you will like this one, and then well, I used to do that with all these guys, and this was one of the bands whose members were part of the scene there, in which we will all hang out in the city.
Nice.
This is a recent release. I just got it last New Year holiday season that I went down to Hermosillo to visit my family.
Yeah, I've seen footage of that.
And then this is one of the records I got. Yeah. So then the guy that released it, that he put they're a local record label. He was like, I contacted him like, what do you have? Like I
give me
I
some
need to
stuff.
have some local stuff right here from Hermosillo, and then I got the
awesome.
the Stress album, right?
That looks rad.
So shout out to the Stress guys, and
Sick. Next time you go down, I'm gonna give you a wish list.
Yes. Well, yeah. Just bring what we have.
That's the fun of traveling, right? You never, you go back home, or you go, anywhere, and you never know what you're gonna find. When it comes to records, like you gotta hit up the local record store,
Yeah. So no, I know that's a
about
bit
it.
of a journey. There might be some things here that of course there's things that I might have missed, like bringing in different eras.
Brought a big crate.
Hopefully, it gives an idea. Although it was heavy on the death metal at the beginning, but I guess it's heavy on my musical journey anyway.
Yeah.
That then how things through time, then we go and explore different things, right? And then listening to some bands open you up to different bands, or meeting people that like music opens you up to then new discoveries, because they will say if you like this, you might like that. That is not exactly the same genre, right? So sometimes the algorithm in the streaming services might say oh yeah, if you like this member, you might like him too. Okay, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's
I already know them.
Yeah.
But then saying, oh yeah, if you like that, you might like this electronic music artist.
Yeah.
If you like this death
Never gonna give those
artists, right? So it's because
Spotify
of the
ain't never giving you
they have, right? It's not just this metal or this electronic or this pop or this or this rock will elicit certain feelings, right? And then so it's not.
And sometimes the bands themselves even introduce you to different stuff, because they may change the direction. Like we were really influenced by this record or that record, or they might take a band on tour with them that sounds completely different. And some of my favorite bills are mixed bills, where it's just you know, you have this band there and that band there, and I know it's not for everybody, but you know, I really love mixed bills.
Yeah. You know that's one of the reasons I love Napalm Death. It's like Napalm Death, like it's an extreme band, and like none of the original members are there. Like that's the point of Napalm Death, like change, change and evolution, but then like at the same time staying true. So then they had a tour with the Melvins, right?
And that's why I love the Melvins, because they evolved the same way. Yeah.
And I have friends that got into Cardiacs because in the Live Corruption DVD of Napalm Death, like at the times that you had to like rent a VHS and then go home and watch it with your friends, Shane Ember is wearing a Cardiacs shirt, and then some of my friends got into like that weird stuff. Right? Then that's how I started paying more attention to, even though I like a lot of gut and post-punk and all that, and I like Killing Joke, different music they did, like seeing them as one of the influences of Napalm Death, I was like, I'm gonna pay more attention. And you pay more, and you're like, oh my god, yeah, I can see the connections.
And remember the thank the bands, like and the albums when the bands thank all the bands, like the friends bands. He's like, I used to look them up. Like, who's this band? I never heard of them. Yeah, no, it's great. It's you know, it's always you know, you always discover new stuff.
Yeah,
that's what makes this fun. Yeah.
And we'll probably keep discovering like this stuff that we didn't like that already existed and we haven't discovered yet, and stuff that is happening right now, and
next
someone
generation.
Else, like like I like listening to young people saying like what they're listening to. I'll give one example. I had a show at Lana Luz with these young bands, and then I met them like at the market in Lana Luz, and then they look young, so like
that's right. He does the Invisible Market, so check it. Hiatus for the summer, but coming back in the fall, right?
Yeah. So well, we have one this Sunday, April 14th. I don't know when you guys will watch this, but it's part of the after party for Hyperspace Metal Festival.
Right.
Hyperspace is organized by our friends in Journeyman Productions.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Progressive and heavy and power metal, mainly power metal. And then heavy and progressive, and a lot of full metal as well. So it's a fun festival. And then for the after party, then we're partnering with a market. So at the market, I meet these kids, and they say, "Can you help us?"
Got a little skip.
Oh shit!
Or a hair.
There you go. I don't know. Might have been a little fluff or something.
Yeah. We'll check that. So then, young kids come to the market, and then they tell us, like, "Can you help us put a show?" And I was like, "I'd love to help a young band."
Mm-hmm.
We were gonna have a show right there in Lana Luz, so it was hellacious.
Yeah.
Then I met these guys from another band that were friends of them, like also young kids, and then they were talking about music, and I asked them, they say like, "Listen to this band." I made notes. I go back, I listened to the bands they were talking about, and then I love one of them was. It's The Garden. It might not be like an underground thing, and a lot of people like know them, and it's very popular in certain circles. But for me, it was like I would have not heard of them or discovered them or listened to them if it wasn't talking to this kids, right? And then I got to listen to The Garden. That was this mix of mathcore, hardcore, and modern new metal and experimental and noise and I don't know, and like even they throw some drum and bass beats in here and there, and it just mix everything up, right? So, but then yeah, in a different way that I hadn't heard, and that was interesting. So then still discover things.
Yeah.
By talking to people, and hopefully we'll.
And the kids are so open-minded. Like my new band, I'm glad to say we haven't played a bar show yet. We've only played all Asian shows since we've been developed. It's great. Like I love it. The kids come out, they're very like open-minded, but yeah. anyways, thanks, Mayo, for coming on the show.
Yeah, no, thanks,
It's
Johnny.
been a blast. Quick update. So what's happening is with the Matterhorn store, we have word that we might be able to access in a week. So tentatively, we'll keep you posted. Also, just want to update you guys. I've been doing a video for every week for over a year now. And with the new store opening up, it's going to be quite difficult to do these videos. Obviously I don't make money doing them. It takes time, not that I'm editing them, but so I'm probably going to go down to one video a month or maybe one every 2 weeks. I haven't decided, just so you know, so you're like, where's the 1000 Hertz video this week? Just keep you all up to date. I'm opening up the shop possibly next week, so I got a lot of work to do and I'm going to be busy, so I'm not going to have time to film. So if you don't see me next week, you know why. But we're not giving up, and you'll see us probably soon. Anyways, thanks again, Mayo.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Yeah.
Thanks for coming out. All right, cheers, guys. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.